Hello, everyone. After a rip-roaring end of 2023, we've run into some serious speed bumps at the beginning of 2024. Um, Welcome. I am Dr. Drew from the Market Breadth. You're looking here at my latest post where I do my take on considering the evidence for profit taking or a top in the market. This was yesterday's post. Today is January 4th, 2024, but this post is referring to the trading action on the 3rd. The trading action today, and mind you, this is before the jobs report, so anything is bound to happen. But I used my good old friend here, Swing Trade Bot, to take a look at the highlights, and I noticed something interesting, a scan that I have not looked at before. So as I do in all my other videos, I remind everyone I am a subscriber. So some of the features and functions that I go through, you may not be able to access unless you also subscribe. But what caught my eye here was this doji bullish signal that popped up on the NASDAQ. This means, and if you click through, you can see what it means, that this could signal a stalemate at the end of a downtrend. And if you've been following the market this year, you know that tech stocks in particular have been slammed, given they were the source of so many gains last year, and profit taking has definitely ravaged those stocks. So if these dojis, which represent a sort of a stalemate in the price action, meaning that the sellers are no longer advancing, it creates a tension that you want to watch. And if this gets resolved to the upside, it could signal at least a short-term bottom in the trading action. So that's why I took interest in this. So I clicked through to the scan on Swing Trade Bot, and I want to do some basic filters here to reduce the universe of stocks that come up. So for instance, I only want stocks that have a minimum of $200,000, 200,000 shares sold on a daily basis, daily average basis, minimum price of 10 just to get rid of the little piddly stocks, even though some of those, of course, would be great for speculating under 10 bucks, the single digit ones. And under advanced filters, I want to make sure I'm only looking at stocks. And another thing I want to be sure, because I'm looking at bullish setups in particular, I only want stocks that are above key trend lines, the 50-day moving average and above the 200-day moving average. And I really like this change that Swing Trade Bot made, which is to put the advanced filters as a tab. Before it was like a big blue bar, and it wasn't always obvious, at least to me, where to access those functions. So now that I've gotten all my filters in place, I click on Find Stocks. What I like to do is to scroll down really quickly, make sure my universe is relatively small. And sure enough, it is. Oh, wait, let me click it one more time. And oh, good, look at that. It's only one set of stocks. Oh, sorry, one page of stocks. So after I've clicked through that, I like to go to the As Charts to get a quick view. And you're going to see a lot of different kinds of patterns here. So, for instance, Walgreen Boots Alliance, they had a big earnings warning, I believe, and notice very cleverly, buyers stepped in right here at the 50-day moving average and then took the stock back up to its open. This red line here is the 50-day moving average. I'm already in this stock as a dividend player. Unfortunately, it was doing well for me for a while, but not so much anymore. But let me skip through that one. Penumbra is an interesting one because it's healthcare medical devices. I want to look into what the company does before I put it on the list. But I do like this setup, which is, as you can see, the selling that's unfolded. Actually, it started at the end of last year. And now this doji here represents a stalemate between buyers and sellers that's happening right above the 50-day moving average. So this is a potentially bullish setup. To buy into this, I would want to wait until the price action got above the intraday high, and that's going to be the case for all of these setups. Here's Papa John's. This is another stock I'm already in, so no trade here for me. But again, cleverly, buyers stepped in right at 50-day moving average support, so that's encouraging for the holding. Financial services, I'm skipping. I don't play in that space too much. Cognex, very, very interesting. Look at this doji. Buyers are defending the 50-day moving average. This to me is a very easy buy if the trading action gets above the intraday high, because as you can see here, the stock had a very big and strong bounce off the 50-day moving average. So one of the things I would do is to look at the news around this point and just make sure that it's news that is encouraging to me. And something else I'll do sometimes is flip over to a trading view just to see very quickly whether there was anything that shows up here. Nope, it wasn't an earnings event. But notice here this other very encouraging thing, which was a surge in buying volume back in at the end of November. So all of these setups look pretty good, pending, of course, me just finding out what the news was all about around here. So I would add this to my watch list. I just click on the plus sign there. Another thing I like that changed with Swing Trade Bot is now the dialog for adding to the watch list is a pop-up. It doesn't open up a separate tab. So I don't have to leave the tab that I'm in with the charts. I'm going to put in why a note to remind myself why I put this on the watch list. Doji bullish scan on January 4th. And then I save it. Oh, oops. Oh, it's already in my stock list, my watch list. Oh, so isn't that nice? I practiced, of course, before going through this video, and I forgot I already added that one. Okay, let's keep it moving. Schneider National Incorporated also looks like a very good setup right here. Again, floating right above 50-day moving average support. And you should know my trigger will be trading action that goes above the intraday high. I do not think I added this to my watch list yet, so bear with me if I'm forgetting it again. No, I did already add it. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep it moving. We just have one page of stocks to go through. Um, FNA, not too interesting. It's not really, the stalemate's not happening at any natural support, so I'll skip through that. Same thing with AVD. Here, this is just a mess, so nothing interesting here. Dana Holding Corporation, an auto parts company. This looks interesting. And it's floating right above the 50-day moving average, so it's something for me to at least watch to see whether some more favorable pricing actually comes. I knew that one wasn't on my watch list, so I successfully added that. Let's keep it moving. Werner Enterprises. No, I don't like that. No natural support there. Same thing with Sea World Entertainment. Smart Global Holding. Don't like that. No natural support. Cracker Barrel. Wow, that one looks interesting. Um, Even though it is a cyclical restaurant, you know what? I'm going to add it just to keep an eye on it. I know it's a very popular spot down in the South, and the South is doing well economically. So this could be a good setup here. Let's keep moving. Schrodinger, nope, not natural support here. Alcoa, not really natural support here. This line, this blue line is a 20-day moving average. I'll just skip by that one. Henry Schein hasn't really gone down that much, so I can skip this one, even though it looks like it's going to hold the 20-day moving average support pretty nicely. Frisia is a stock that I wrote about on Seeking Alpha. You can find me there under Ahan Analytics, which you see the banner behind me on the screen. And I've written about this and I've bought a few little shares. So I'm actually hoping I can buy at a discount lower down here. I mean, I don't mind, of course, if it zips up because it just proves my thesis, but I don't own as large of a position as I would like for the setup, the fundamental setup that I see with that stock. Here's everyone's favorite, Chewy. Uh, and Chewy is looking pretty interesting. It's floating above the 50-day moving average. I don't know why Chewy hasn't done better. I'm always hearing it as a pet stock favorite, but let me add it to the watch list. I doubt I'll be trying to be making a move on that one, but it is interesting to watch just again because of the nice setup here above the 50-day moving average. And also the other thing I like about these is that the 50-day moving average is now pointing upward, which means an uptrend is unfolding. This one is a real estate services, so I'm just going to skip that, not too interested. I thought there was only one page. Either I skipped over the banner showing more stocks or it was delayed in rendering. either way, let's just quickly go through the rest of these. Max linear. Ooh, that's a close call. Right below the 20-day moving average support, so I'll have to skip it. Bill.com holdings. This is kind of a weird chart. It's one to watch. It's already on my watch list because I was watching this bounce from this huge post-earnings sell-off, and you can see that it almost fully recovered. So it's probably going to be consolidating for a while. But something for folks to keep an eye on if you like trying to pick up stuff off the bottom here. And again, that's not a specific recommendation. Do your own research and trade according to your own objectives and risk management and tolerance. Okay, now I have that disclaimer out of the way. Let's keep it moving. Radware, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I'm going to pass that one by. Alpha Tech is pretty interesting, although the upside probably isn't all that great, but it is perched nicely here on 20-day moving average support. So let me just go ahead and add it just because I want to keep an eye on it and see what it does. And the last chart is Bicycle Therapeutics. You got to love that name. Um, it's it's sort of interesting, but the 50-day moving average is only just now turning up, so I'm just going to skip it by. So anyway, hopefully that was pretty educational for you. And the basic point here is that when you're on Swing Trade Bot, you first go to the general stock market recap, see what signals look interesting. Sometimes I also will go down the key indicators and see what else might look interesting. What else pops into my mind or into my eye? Nothing here today. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments at the bottom of the video. Otherwise, you could check out my writings at drduru.com/122. That's all one word. The last post was all about thinking about whether the selling that started off this year marks a profit, just simple profit taking, or an actual sustainable top. And my conclusion for now is that it's just simple profit taking, and that's just because the general context remains bullish, although my short-term trading call is neutral. So I am hedging some of my bullish calls with some put options. But again, I explain all of that in the blog post. So thanks everyone for checking this out, and I will catch you in the next time. Take it easy and be careful out there.